Peace to the gods on earth, it's the God born Bill Universal, transmitter of supreme science on earth and the universe. And this is iGod TV. And I just want to say tonight, family, you know, we usually, when you see the big Auggie on the to the side of me, you already know it's a special broadcast. But from here on out, it's the big Auggie and the Auggivelli, all right?
Auggie.
You know what I mean? You're in the building with the Auggie and the Auggivelli, man, and you know we always gonna come at you with the straight, raw game, breaking down the facts, man, of reality, you know what I mean? Not as it really is and not how you see it, you know what I mean? We always gonna go into the back doors behind there like the key maker, you know what I mean? And unlock them doors, man, to the true reality for y'all, you know what I mean? So, you know,
True.
once again, we want to welcome my man, the big Auggie from Auggies and Thee Auggivelli. What up with you, brother?
Salute to everybody out there in the Auggie land. You know, iGod TV. My man, born Bill, the Auggivelli. You know what I'm saying? And you know, we got some interesting things to talk about. I think, man, some things been going down, God.
Yeah, man, a lot of progression. It don't seem like it's getting any better for these entertainers. First off, is what I want to say. You know, it don't seem like any of, you know, these situations with law enforcement is gonna get any better. It seems like it's just gonna get worse, you know. But the question about it is the funding that's being put into all these guys that's doing this. How long are they gonna allow their investments to just plunder? You know what I mean? Under law enforcement. At some point, I feel like there's gonna come to an agreement between law enforcement and the entertainment industry. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's gonna be like, all right, look, you know.
I mean, you could promote this stuff, but you know, just know we're watching you.
Yeah, because think about something. And you know what? Shout out to Homegirl, man, for real, because you know, the WNBA, that's, you know what I mean, that's one of the lowest paid sports, man. They probably getting about $85,000 to $100,000 a year. That's one of their best players. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They ain't making much bread. You know what I mean? So shout out to Brittany Grinder out there. You know what I mean, for doing her thing, and you know, free her as soon as possible, man. You know what I mean? But it's like, yeah, that's old girl over in Russia. You know what I mean? But it's like she over there balling over in Russia because she ain't getting no guap over here.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And then she's actually got dual citizenship.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Right. But so, if you think about it, compared to an NBA player, that overseas shit is for later on in life.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Russell Westbrook barely did anything for my squad this year. He made $43 million. Just one year, man.
That's a lot of millions, man.
And he barely did anything. So we ain't even talking about what LeBron made this year.
Oh yeah, just to be LeBron.
So
just to be LeBron.
My first question, I mean, before we even get into the subject, man, is what I want to ask you on your thoughts of that, man, of like, if this was LeBron James, would he still be in Russia in captive, or would he have even got arrested in the first place? What do you think, man?
I don't know, that could go both ways, but I think I'm gonna say the latter. I don't think he would have got arrested. And if he did get arrested, it would not have been as publicized as it is with Ms. Grinder. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think it'd have been a bigger deal.
I don't think so either.
You know, but then once again, you know, you gotta understand this too. She is a dual citizen of she's a Russian, you know, she's a dual Russian citizen.
Right.
And you know, with that being, and she got a crib over there.
Yeah, so she's going home.
You know what I'm saying? Right. So for them to do her like that over something as benign as just some
parts.
Some pens.
Yeah, some vape pens. It's like, nah, seriously.
She might, you know, that's a little extreme.
Now,
you know I mean, I don't think
I've heard rappers and other entertainers say, like Dubai and a couple other places, like, you can't have weed at all. You done. They catch you with a dime, you might do 3 years. You know what I mean?
Okay,
like, there's some countries where I guess the marijuana shit is real thick, but it's kind of like you said, she got dual citizenship, so we can't pretend like she don't know the laws around there.
Right. So you know, she kind of knew. Hey, well, you know, sometimes you get away with some stuff so much, and then you know, this time her celebrity didn't pass her through.
Right. And you know, another one of the craziest things that I heard about the whole joint is, man, I heard that even some of the joints was empty.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's
But
crazy, right?
it still be paraphernalia though.
Like she could have been on the smoking it in the airport, you know, or on the flight, and then yeah, it still is. No, that's not what we're saying, but it's like it's just sad to see she going through all this over some, you know what I
So
mean?
as benign as that.
Some half empty carts.
That's light. That's light compared to, you know what I'm saying? That's
Yeah,
light compared to some things we didn't heard about.
yeah. And
But
it's
you
kind of
know,
like we definitely don't hear anything from our president as far as working it out to get her out of there either.
oh no, no. As far as he concerned, as for due to his, from what he's saying is, hey man, you knew better, and they're not gonna do too much to you.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know.
Hey, how about that? How about those? That did you see that last little footage that came out about Joe Biden's son?
No, elaborate.
Oh man, his iCloud got leaked.
Oh,
Yeah. Well, we already knew, and
oh,
Joe Biden had already admitted. Joe Biden had already admitted in the election, though, that we all knew that his son was struggling with a drug addiction. You know what I'm saying?
right.
That he had been to rehab and just a bunch of shit from the war, from being in the service, or whatever they say. But
I mean,
anyway, the man's iCloud leaks, right?
right.
Why they got a video? Why they got a video of him at the hotel with the prostitute putting crack on the scale, 2 grams.
Oh,
I'm
damn.
talking about he got the camera right on the scale and the crack. They putting it right there, and she's like, "How much is 2 grams?" He's like, "Well, this ain't supposed." He was basically telling us it was supposed to be more.
Right.
You know what I mean? He must have sent her out to get the package. You know what I'm saying?
Came up short.
Yeah, she cuffed half that shit, and yeah, he'll never know, or he's rich enough. Nah,
Right.
nah, that nigga
And
wanted every gram of his shit.
well,
So
he's like, hey, I got the digi. He's like, you got a digi? What you got that for? What you got that for?
you're not a dealer.
Hey, I thought we were just gonna party. Like this is how I party, baby, with every iota.
Yeah, yeah. Hunter Biden broke out the digi on her, like, nah, baby. This ain't what I sent you for. This ain't what my
Oh my
but,
goodness.
but honestly, man, it's a lot to say, but what are you gonna do? What are you gonna say about Joe Biden, man, about what his son does in his own free time and with his own life, man? None of us can't even do that with our own children, man. You know?
Hey man.
Just because you're the president don't mean you're supposed to be don't mean your kids gonna listen to your ass.
Hey, and not only that, don't mean that they ain't normal motherfuckers.
Perfect, yeah, like they just perfect human beings either, man. You know what I'm saying? So I'm holding a lot against that party right now. Actually both parties. But that's one thing I ain't holding against Joe Biden, man. Because it's like, man, what you gonna do about that, man? You know what I mean, rich kids out from college everywhere just doing all kind of immaculate drugs with prostitutes, all kind of shit right now. You know, they had Trump and all them doing all that with the pageants and just all that shit they doing, man. That's just, Hey, but I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's right or it's normal. All I'm trying to say is it's like ain't nobody got no control over the next person, man. You know what I mean?
Hey, well shit, your boy Larry Fishburne is, you see his people's going, continuously going bonkers out here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and what I mean, hey, you can't control a grown person. Is that too bad as I
cry? I mean, rest in peace, Whitney Houston. I mean, look, even her daughter,
Right.
Yeah. Her daughter too. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's like you can't pin that on people, and a lot of people have been trying to go on social media and make that a part of a Democratic thing. But it's like, yeah, the Democrats got enough shit that they ain't doing, but this ain't not that.
Yeah, you can't.
You know what I mean? Now you're just throwing the filth.
Right. And you're dealing with uncontrollable variables.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You can't control what somebody else do. You know what I'm saying? You can give them guidelines and stuff like that, and they know what they're supposed to do. But we supposed to be, hey, what your boy say? I thought this was America, people.
Right.
You still have a degree of privacy. What you're supposed to do what you want to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As long as it don't impede on the next person.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Right. I don't know if you also saw, man, they just well, he actually has two cases, but the one case in Los Angeles, NBA YoungBoy was found not guilty for the gun charge.
Okay.
I don't know if you saw a while back, he got pulled over, he had ran.
Okay, I remember that.
They had like chased him down and shit, and they found like a gun in the car. You know what I mean?
Right.
So he went to trial for that. They couldn't prove it was his or just any of that, so he got off of that one. But that leads me to the question that I want to ask is, if you're MC, if you're a professional artist and you have felonies, okay?
Right.
What are the stipulations on having armed security? Because you're not supposed to have guns around you because you're a felon. But if you're an entertainer, there's gonna be guns in the car because they're gonna be protecting their investment. So it's like,
that's right.
We've seen this happen to a lot of rappers. Prodigy, Lil Wayne went away for the gun being in the car. Prodigy went away for the gun being in the car.
Yeah.
A bunch of these dudes, man. You know, remember Snoop almost went for a whole murder case, man, for just having his bodyguard shot someone. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's kind of like, what's the, is there a thin line, or what do you think the boundaries is, or what do you think it should be? What do you think the regulation should be? Like, hey, yeah, look, I'm a felon, but I'm a millionaire and I'm a professional. So there's going to be, armed security around me at all times.
Like, it maybe should be a permit or a license. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, and of course, security got to have their license, right?
Right. I'm just saying the person.
If they pull you over, the gun's in the car, it's like, all right, yeah, the gun's in the car. The security. Look at Tory Lanez. Look at the Tory Lanez thing. Security guard in the front seat, gun in the car, up under this. You know what I mean? It's a weird space right now, what they're trying to do with felons and entertainers,
Yeah, well, hey, unfortunately, we in our genre, a lot of entertainers may or may not be felons.
And get their ass murdered also. That's why half of them riding around with the heavy ammunition and the bulletproof vehicles.
Right. But at the same time, they still promoting the same lifestyle that they trying to stay away from in real life.
Yeah. So, shout out to NBA. Shout out to NBA YoungBoy, man. Hopefully he beat his second case that he got coming up, which is another gun charge, but that's back in Louisiana where he's from. So he's got to go back there for that case to see what goes on with that.
Right.
So we'll see how that goes for him, But it's just been a lot of, cases and, like we said, with the guns, and even one of the situations with Gunna and YSL, he was in a car that was being followed by his security. Okay. They search his car. Both cars are in his name. They search his car, nothing in it. They go to the back car, guns in it.
Right.
So now that's part of his conspiracy. There were guns in the car behind.
But that's the security.
Exactly. So you see how far this, as more and more I look into this case, I see how far they're just trying to demonize these dudes and just make it more than what it actually is, I feel like.
Well, then, you got to think, the younger generation has made everybody looks the same. That's the best way I can put it. So when you have that look, you're a young person, you got that, got the young person look, the trend of the wave of the time, that's how you drop, because that's your demographic. You got these older folks, or just folks that's not in the know, that can't distinguish the rappers from the gangsters, from the gang members, from, because everybody look the same. Everybody wearing the same dreads. Everybody, is, basically rocking the same uniform.
Yep, and we're gonna talk about that too. We're gonna talk about that once we get into the actual subject, man. But just a couple more things, man. Did you see what happened with Kodak Black, man?
Yeah, now he just got arrested too, right?
Pulled over in the bulletproof Durango.
Yeah.
Of course, because it was like 2-3% tint or some shit, man. Like limo tint's like 5, I think, right?
Right.
I don't know for sure, but it's like lower than limo tint. So they pull him for the limo tint and get him out the car or whatever. I guess they found like 31 Oxycontins.
Oh, damn.
You know what I mean? So whatever they're gonna do about that, I don't know. Who knows? The nigga might be. Well, they said they were unprescribed, but the man did just get shot at the Justin Bieber party. I don't know if you remember that after the Super Bowl, he got shot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I mean, it take a year or two for depending on where you get shot at, you ain't just healing right the fuck up. You're gonna be on some medicine, some rehab.
Yeah.
What the hell ever.
Yeah, you shot.
Who knows? It might even just come out in the end that they were his. You know what I'm saying? They ain't gonna do shit about it. But to me, it's just like profiling. They see the bulletproof car, the cops following it. They want to see who inside.
Who in the bulletproof?
Mm-hmm.
And I know who's in the bulletproof.
I know he at least smoking weed in there. They gonna find. They know it's gonna be something, a gun.
Yeah.
It's like,
and
even back in the day when the guard Ghostface got caught with the joint.
But see, come on, man. And he hopping out with Eagles.
Yeah, I mean, of course, New York had gun laws was crazy back then, so you wouldn't get no permits or no type of shit like that anyway in New York anyway. But still, It's like there's got to be some level of, you know what I mean, tolerance on when it comes to the rappers and having ammunition around them and artillery.
Hey, well, let me ask.
Because they get killed so randomly now. When Biggie and Pac got killed, that was like a freaking blow to the world, man. You know what I mean? Because we had never really witnessed, like, Scott LaRock, but it was like, these was impactful. It's like, oh, that really happened,
Right.
So it's like now, every time you go on YouTube, it's like rapper so-and-so, killed in his own neighborhood. So it's like, what do you you're gonna be out here protecting yourself, and they definitely gonna want to protect the bag by any way they can.
I mean, that's gonna be primary. The bag is, if they can replace the energy.
Yeah.
They can replace the energy. It's a line of motherfuckers that's gonna replace that energy. If not, give you more and even more lower vibration. You know what I'm saying? But man,
and that's what I don't get about this YSL shit. It's like he done made his record label hundreds of millions of dollars. You know what I'm saying? It's like no one had any idea that any of this was about to happen. Like no one tried to secure any of it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like to even see, we did see Kevin Lyles. Kevin Lyles came from Atlantic. He's got Cardi B, Nicki Minaj, he got all the big artists.
Right.
He came to the trial. He went on the stand and was like, look, I'll pay for wherever you want him to live. I'll make sure he don't ever come out. I will set a cop right outside the door. Just let him out. I'll pay for fucking everything, And the judge he need to work. The judge was like, no, you know what I mean? So I did see the label kind of reach out in desperation, like, look, there's a bag. This dude gets us a nice bag. This ain't the time to be shutting this, you know what I mean? To be putting a hold on this,
Somebody, they're gonna find a way. They're gonna find a way to appease both parties.
As long as they continue to do it, but as long as they can continue to demonize him and have all these witnesses or people that's talking to the district attorney saying that if they let him out, they're afraid they could die and shit. It's really just speculation. It's like no one under oath is saying it. It's just the prosecutor in front of the judge saying, we're getting all kind of emails saying, don't let this dude out. It's like, this is random. This could be anybody sending this,
That's right. That's right.
I feel like a lot of this shit's going to get thrown out.
And they just playing this on some theatrical shit?
They're going to drain him for at least a few million first.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to want you to spend some money first. It's going to cost you a lot. It's going to cost you first. Because... I mean, my only question is, not my only question, but a big question that ain't nobody asking is this. If this is really that serious of a situation, if they're really that big of a gang, and Young Thug is really this big of a monster, why ain't the feds pick it up yet? Why is he still under state jurisdiction?
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, you even remember in some of the greatest movies, as soon as the cop do something or do something great or catch somebody, the feds come in out of the way. We're taking over the case.
Yeah. We've got some interest in this now.
Where is it? Still not yet. Still no federal interest, man. That's weird to me.
Yeah, these cats, man, they playing dirty. Hey, and it might just be
see that.
Hey, and it might be really as much, you know, I ain't gonna say ruckus, but as much attention as these cats bringing themselves in the state, all over the state might, you know,
they're like, nah, we want every dime out of this. We want every dime out of him for this.
Hey, right. We want every dime out of him, but they don't necessarily want him make money in that state.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
They trying to give him a message that if we do let you up out of here, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're done.
Your best bet is to move somewhere.
Yeah, go move to LA, go move to Los Angeles, like
Miami or something. Go take your shenanigans elsewhere. But the state of Georgia don't want you.
Yeah. Same way with like Chief Keef. That's what happened to Chief Keef.
See?
When they did that drill music, he didn't go to jail, but they banned him from doing any concerts in Chicago when he just pretty much can't ever go back after all the violence that started after he came out. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like he literally got banned from Chicago, man. But Illinois, period. You just can't even go. You know, whole family, whatever's still there, you just banned just for the type of music that you put out. That these dudes gave you millions and millions of dollars to record. I don't understand that. Hey, I don't understand that.
The experiment works. The experiment works.
This was literally your legal job. You paid taxes off this money that they're taking you to jail for the lyrics for.
Yeah. He went to jail for his artistic expression.
That's like when you go online and pay your electric bill, they charge you an extra $4.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I gotta pay you to pay you.
Hey, they like, well, you
get what I'm saying? I mean, of course you might say there's a middleman, there's like a service you're paying. About it. But think still,
they really do that. And they do that. Let's just say you ain't online with them, you know what I'm saying, and you just want to pay your bills as a guest. They charge you an extra fee.
Yeah.
If you call in, that would be like, and for us to process this for you, it's gonna be extra $3.
Like, so why? Oh, because you had to answer the phone. I owe you $3.
Yeah. You ain't just mail it in. And if you mail it in and something happened to it, then it's on you.
Yeah, that's insane, man. It's insane how they got the extra tab on everything.
They got a wild game they play, you know.
It is.
They got a wild game they play. You know how they rock.
It is, man. It's crazy, man. But I want to go ahead with no further ado, man, and go ahead and tap into what we was going to tap into. We kind of already touched the subjects a little bit, man. But what we really want to get into, if y'all seen this Supreme Team documentary, okay? I'm not sitting here saying it's the best I've ever seen. I'm not saying it's the most accurate I've ever seen. But it was definitely impactful, and it definitely had a lot of key points in what we were just talking about with Young Thug, YSL, and the Ricos between all the rappers that's been going on. You know what I mean? It lays out kind of a map of how they was first trying to figure it out, how the feds was trying to figure it out, you know, of how do we connect these, how do we know that rap's been funded by drug dealers and the black market, let's just say the underground. You know what I mean? How do we prove it? And how do we get the corporate executives out of the way to be able to still execute, you know, the law pretty much? Because that's the part that's really got me confused. It's like, I don't understand how these billionaires are letting you do this. Usually they just write checks.
Yeah, but you know
what I'm saying?
It might be, hey, this is something like,
come on.
Just like we were just talking about.
Suge Knight never met Tupac in his life. He went right over there and got that man out.
Right.
And turned everything right. You know what I'm saying? And he had some serious shit going on. He had a serious case.
Yeah, he did. He was in there. For real. Yeah, he wasn't in there for play.
Whole time he had a bond. Suge Knight go get him. You know, we know Thug them, they don't have a bond. I feel like Gunna should have a bond because I feel like they just holding him just on some being guilty by association. You know what I mean? I feel like he was just guilty by association, man. But you know, when you look at shit like that.
But then but you know, they got the conspiracy joint go deep. So he's knowing what's going on, say Gunna, knowing what's going on, and he didn't you know, basically roll over on his mans.
Report it, yeah.
Yeah, you know.
It's such a wide umbrella, you know what I mean?
Yeah, man. So it's almost some, you know, some totalitarian stuff, but you gotta, the scope is so broad.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You like, sheesh.
Right.
Where does it end?
One reason I wanted to tap in with you with the big Auggie on this one, man, is because you was definitely around in the times where all this was coming into fruition with hip hop and the influencing and how it all was beginning to be promoted and put out there for everybody to hear, man. You know, and it's like in the very beginning, I mean, we hear a lot of rappers say it now, or we even hear a bunch of OGs talk about it, to where they say the first rappers wanted to imitate the hustler. You know, he wanted to wear the chains, he wanted to have the Kangos, wanted to have the fly gear because he was peeping out what he would see the hustlers doing on the corners. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
So it's
you know.
Do you feel like there's always gonna be that relationship with hip hop and that part of the streets, not just the streets, because we all know there was graffiti artists and a lot of it had a lot to do with it. It was brothers breakdancing and all that too. Yes, we know that. But when it came to the MC, I feel like the most influence came from that, you know, from that direction. You know what I mean? From the hustler's perspective. You know what I mean? What do you think?
You know, I'm gonna have to agree with that because, you know, early on, you know, the rappers wanted to emulate, you know, the cats like that played instruments because it was music. You know what I'm saying? It was singing. It was, you know, it was routines. And, you know, you rapping, but you know, you put a little pizzazz to it. Right. So, you know, cats was like, you know, Earth, Wind, and Fire, or, you know, like any band at that time that, you know, had a look. Yeah. You know, which goes back to the rock singers. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So they was all really trying to be rock stars. Yeah. You know what I mean? In their own way. But the rappers, you know what I'm saying? The MCs, I should say, they came up under a different influence. You know what I mean? Right. And we have Run DMC in them to thank for that. Yeah. For bringing that. Because, you know, they was the first cat, and MC Shan, and you know what I'm saying? Cats like that, who was wearing the fly shit.
Right. You know what? And I'm glad you said that. I want you to continue that point right after this. But when we said Run DMC, right? Right. When you look at Run DMC's road manager, who was Run DMC's road manager back then? Bimmy from the Supreme Team. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, the real light-skinned skinny dude. They show pictures. Yeah. It's Run DMC, then it's another skinny dude with the same exact outfit on as them. The Kango, the leather with the Adidas. You know what's so crazy? That's Bimmy from the Supreme Team. And guess who I used to think that was? Who? I used to think that was DJ Hurricane. I used to think that was, or that was DMC's brother. Man, listen. They kind of favored in the face. That was Bimmy, one of the capos of the Supreme Team. So, which takes me back to my point, you know, of the hustler being the influence in the MC himself, not the music, not the culture, but that the voice of it was coming from the hustler, man. You know, we had some struggle rappers or whatever eventually and things, but originally, nah. You was speaking on the voice of I'm the man.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
You know what I
Definitely.
mean? And
Definitely.
then
And
a
definitely at
lot of
that
people
day.
don't know that dude I just said, I'm gonna cut you off. That dude I said, Bimmy, right?
Right.
That's Waka Flocka's uncle.
Oh, okay.
So now we see how it still trickles down into the industry.
Yeah.
How these dudes are still inside the game. They're still
Yeah.
gatekeepers in the game.
Yeah.
But don't
Yeah.
none of us connect the dots like that and see who, like when you see certain faces, always with certain faces and with the right people. Get what I'm saying? Think
Right.
of like, think of like a Jay Prince. I mean, he owns percentage of Drake. I mean, we already know Jay Prince, Rap a Lot, Scarface. We already know how that whole thing goes down
Right.
there.
Right. Convicts. It goes on and on.
He's tied in with the biggest artists in the world.
No doubt.
You know what I mean? And I mean, it's like, no matter what, man, you look back at the guys who were really the guys, it's kind of like some mafia, it's kind of like some mafia stuff in a way of how we talked about before, how they all used to be gangsters and gamblers and stuff like that out in the streets. And now they're just the businessmen, you know, the construction men or the T-Mobile owners and the, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
So now it's like the hustlers from back then that really, really, really did it and really, really, really got it. They were able to, you know, slither in with a couple of good men in the game. You know what I mean?
Make some connections.
Yeah, and continue. Right.
Always connected to the tree.
Yeah, yeah. And that's one of the topics I wanted to talk about. Can we say that the street hustler was hip hop's, not hip hop, let's just not say hip hop because that's too in general. The MC, the first primary investors in an MC.
Well, I'm gonna say this. I would say it would be the DJ. They was invested in the DJs first. Because you know, we forget that the forefront, just like today, people really don't listen to your joint unless your music is banging.
Yeah.
We call them producers now, but back then it was the DJ that was gonna spin that shit that that got the party cranking. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So you know, which had and you know, you had to have your sound system right.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? That's where you got your DJ Cool Hercs, and they was known for them sounds, Blind Body, all them cats. They was known for their sound systems.
Yeah.
And them and they sound men, you know what I mean? Right. They get together and they get to throw in the parties, you know what I mean?
Right. And
you know, get the proceeds, but I'm sure behind that was just, you know, a need to party, but you know what happened at parties, man. Yeah. You know, parties, you know, cats is those parties.
So they started out pretty much as party promoters first.
Right.
First.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you know, what you need. Oh, okay, boom, boom, boom. Yeah, you need that, boom. Keep a guy's system up to par. Or, you know what I'm saying? Or say their favorite DJ, another cat come and his system is crazier. Mm-hmm. And you know, this dude might know some cats like, yo, I'm gonna get busy. Right. I need this new piece of equipment. Right. You know what I mean?
Right.
And you know, might go in with him, or you know, we gonna throw this party and you know what I mean? We gotta, you know, we stand and make whoop whoop whoop. And you know, whoever his investor is, let's just say it's the street guy. That's open market buffet for his, you know, his business.
Yeah. Wash a little money up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying? It's a win-win for everybody.
Right. So look,
you know what I mean?
so as the MC becomes more popular at the parties, you know what I mean?
Right.
Do you see, is that the point where you start to see, let's just say the street hustler start to bond with the MC? Yes.
Because now we at the party though, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now at this point, cats, unless you like Melly Mel or somebody, you ain't coming to the party uh, well, you Melly Mel, so you the Furious Five. Y'all coming in like the old guard.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Y'all coming in like the rock stars. And that's how you know, and it'd be weird for anybody else to dress like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Boom. And call itself rocking out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So boom. So now everybody just come as you are, and niggas can pick up mics. So now you got the cats who might be a part of something or a cousin of a part of something. And you know, everybody got a dress code outside of the gig.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now cats ain't trying to look like entertainers. They just trying to look like they self in they freshest gear.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right. And that's one thing
what
I
they
wanted to
see.
mention too. That's another thing I wanted to mention. It was like the street hustler that he was the trendsetter.
Right.
He was bringing out the Gucci jackets. You know what I mean? The car from next year. You know what I mean? We hear all the stories of Paid in Full and all them dudes back then driving Benzes, BMWs that hadn't even came out yet. You know.
Hey, but then you had your boy Andre Harrell.
Mm-hmm.
You had Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Them
Rest
cats.
in peace, Andre Harrell.
You know, them cats had suits on.
Yeah.
They wore suits.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you had different vibes. Shout out to Heavy D. He had a different type of a vibe.
He came, but see, Have came in. Have came in just a big guy and he gonna dance. You know what I'm saying? He just wore some shit. He just, you know, Have was just a big smooth dude.
Yeah.
He didn't, you know what I'm saying? He came with Overweight Lover, but on that he had on the I want to say the varsity jacket.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
He just coming out there just doing a little talent show.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just showcasing his talent, just, you know.
Right.
So people, you know, and at that time, it was something new. And, you know, Cass was willing to check you out. That's why you don't really hear no cursing.
Yeah, exactly. Right,
you know what I mean?
Right. And that leads me to my next point, man, of when do you feel like the point of the so-called reality rap kicked in? To where it wasn't just about partying no more. It was about what was going on out here, what was happening. It's pretty much the street journalism, you know what I mean, side of it. When the game changed over from pretty much partying to, you know.
Well, hey, Spoonie G said was one of the first people I could trace back to even talking about a pistol. And he just said one little line.
Yeah.
He said, when I pull out my revolver, I would shoot to kill. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But then, you know, he was still partying, trying to get the girls, but he was letting you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Where he stood. Then I think you had, you know, you got, shoot, you got cats like the immortal Cool G Rap.
True.
You know what I mean? Cool G Rap. You know, after I did the demo, you could tell Cool G, that second album,
mm-hmm.
he went straight, you know, and he got the story.
Yeah.
You know,
and I mean, of course, we talked about, you know, you said Spoonie G, you know, the Parkside Killers, you know, we know the story.
Yeah.
Ice-T, we know the story.
See, hold up. That's the PSK, that's the boy Schoolie D, who just turned 60.
Yeah, shout out to Schoolie D.
Yeah. And and actually
you think that was, but now, do you think that was a little bit more violent? That's when you feel like it was getting a little more violent?
Yeah, it was, yeah. You know, but shit, Slick Rick, The Moment I Feared was an ill song.
Yeah, but to me still, behind the scenes we heard he was, you know, he could be pretty vicious, but I still don't feel like the persona of him was you know.
Oh yeah, you talking about when they started selling the persona?
Yeah.
I would say you got cats like, would you
say Schoolie D would be the beginning, or
between Schoolie D and Cool G Rap?
Now, is this before Ice-T?
Ice-T is like a couple years, I want to say a year or two after Schoolie D. That's 6 in the morning.
Right.
In the morning.
Yeah, he
we was rocking PSK for a minute. Gucci Time. We was rocking that shit for a second. That album was out. That was 86. 86. Yeah. And I think 6 in the Morning came out 87.
Okay.
I think it came out like 87.
And when Cool G Rap come out, man? I can't think of
Rap
it
was
right
86. It's a demo came out like 86, 85, 86.
So if you think about it, even with Ice-T doing a lot of music and doing a lot of business in the East Coast, you know what I mean? We can't really say it happened in one spot. It was kind of like, you know what I mean, a few areas. You know what I mean? That type of persona was coming out of, because what Parkside? What was that? Was that Philadelphia? What was that?
That was Philadelphia.
Okay, right.
That was Philly. Yeah. But see, Ice-T was inspired to make 6 in the Morning from PSK.
Right. True.
He'll tell you. He said he heard that.
Right.
And put his twist on it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The West Coast version. You know what I mean?
Right.
And but I think that's when, depending on
NWA at the very same time.
Yeah. Well, before NWA, you had King T. King T, you better get ready. I'm finna act a fool. Yeah, And see, but back then, California music came one of two ways. It either came like some fast breakdown. Like before California went to the funk, California was all in Chicago. It was like kind of, it was breakdance music. It would do Egyptian Lover and DJ Mike, Mike the Mechanic. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I know it was all about beats that you could break dance to or pop lock to.
Yeah.
It was, you know what I'm saying? And then
because transitioned over later.
Yeah, well, yeah. But then, they were still talking about, like, then you got Toddy T with the batter ram. That's when he used to talk about how, the batter ram used to come, battle through your gig.
Right,
and a raid.
Right. So would you say what? So what would you say? King T, Ice Cube, Ice T, or Ice T before Ice Cube? What would you say?
Oh, Ice T definitely before Ice Cube.
So we say King T, Ice T, then probably Ice Cube as far as probably the West Coast would go. You would probably say. Then we'd probably say on the East Coast, we'd probably say Schoolie D, and then we'd go with Cool G Rap probably after that, probably, right?
Yeah. Yeah. If you want to talk about, that's straight neighborhood type shit.
Yeah.
And because Cool G gonna paint you a whole mob story.
Right.
Because before that, before he was talking like that, he had songs like, all his songs was edgy anyway.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then like that second album, that's when he went to, Don Giacana. You know what I mean?
Right. Now,
then he started. Then he gave
NWA. I feel like NWA, they shit probably went the most viral.
Oh, it did.
They shit spread a lot. They had. Do you feel like they had the most influence?
Yes.
As far as that persona, persona,
it was simpler. It was raunchier, and let's not forget Uncle Luke down there in Miami,
right?
Who was selling porn on records.
Mm-hmm.
That
the parental advisory. He gave us the parental advisory.
But before that, he had the songs that put him on the map was that Throw That D. Throw That P,
right?
But I had the
they
honor.
Strip club music though down there.
And I'm talking about different. Hey, we want some put,
Right.
Man, shoot. Hey, and at that time it was like if you wasn't from there, it wasn't commonplace.
Right.
So you from somewhere else.
To me, that's still a different wave. You know what I mean? It's like that might not be the most. The most positive shit to be saying, but at least we ain't over here talking about, blowing the neighbor's head off. You know what I mean?
That's facts. But then, if you ever been down that way, it's hot all the time. And it ain't nothing to do but look at chicks and party.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It wasn't until like songs like In the Streets of New York, Straight Outta Compton, DJ Quick had a nice one.
DJ
Just
Quick,
like Compton.
one of my favorites.
Oh yeah. I mean, but then see, and that's when you got the evolution of cats with more talent. At the Cube, you seen really, because Cube was like, oh shit. When you heard that dude Cube at NWA, that Boys in the Hood, when that shit came on, man.
Right. There's a whole nother energy, man.
The story, you know, the story was PSK, right?
Right.
But it was you was right there. And you know, if you know anything about Cali, it's gangbang music anyway.
Exactly.
Without even saying nothing.
Exactly. And how we was talking about personas. I mean, we knew Ice Cube was cool, you know, in the beginning. I'm talking about before he left NWA. But while he was with NWA, it was like Dre was cool, Cube, Ren, they was cool, but real dudes wanted to be Eazy-E, man.
Oh, because he was the leader.
You know what I mean? That persona of the gangster got the machine gun on him all the time. You know what I mean? The gang member, the drug. That's who everybody gravitated to. Everybody gravitated to Eazy-E. It was like, all right, this is what a man in the you know what I mean, in the inner city, you know what I mean, this is who he is. This is the president of being a dude, of being a man. You know what I mean?
But that do bring us back to our point, because Eazy-E was the real guy.
He was actually living. Yes, he really was.
He was not the artist. He was Eazy-E.
Right.
The real Eazy-E. The real Eric Wright. You know what I mean?
Right.
So when he said it, he said it with an authenticity that you gotta believe him, because this is what I do before I met you.
Yeah.
Type joint. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you know, and then it's like who it's like who you around.
Yeah.
Because Q, for them to say that he was never, you know, on that like that, man, he
definitely was. I'm just saying, as far as who had the spotlight in the beginning would be Eazy-E. Once Ice Cube broke away and did his own thing, definitely. Then he took on the spotlight. But then you know what? They also kind of leave out the whole part to where when Ice Cube went real political and went real positive. Gorillas in the Mist, you know.
Well, with the lynch mob, but see,
yeah, you get what I'm saying? They kind of leave. I'm not saying they leave that out, but when they talk about a lot about Ice Cube, it's more or less about Death Certificate and other, you know what I mean? But that Lynch Mob was one of my favorite albums, and Cube was talking a lot different. You know what I'm saying?
But you see what happened with that? He don't publicize that.
A lot of time with the Nation of Islam.
But I'm just saying he don't publicize that part, because what came out of that is his boy is still doing time. JD from the Lynch Mob is still in prison.
Right. Yeah.
Then you have to bring up that.
Right. Which, yeah, you do. You're right.
Is some pseudo-political type situation too.
Exactly.
There's some ways you can look at that.
And you know what? That brings me to another good point, man, of something else that I have on the list, man, is, you know, the pros and cons of, you know, this reality rap. You know, it's like we're talking about them now. You know, some people get paid, become famous, become this persona of this person that people want to be like, you know, and live in that image. And some of the people around them fall and crumble and do life in prison over it, and, you know, die. You know, all kind of, you know, all kind of consequences that come from this whole genre of this shit. You know what I mean? And the main point about it is, it's all paid for by the labels, man.
Right.
They invest in this.
Right.
The biggest investments.
Yeah.
That
means.
Yeah.
Well, that means, you know, if let's say they pay you and you mess up, right?
Uh-huh.
They ain't gotta pay you. They can just keep flooding, you know.
Your whole catalog, keep your everything.
They got you. You know what I mean? And they're gonna keep the bread. you gonna be in the cell, you know what I mean? Keeping it real. But hey, now that real,
I can't stand that either, man. That keeping it real shit is just so
man.
foul to me.
Hey, man. Hey, but you lucky. You see what happened to Shine, and then we find out that.
And shout out to Shine, man. That's a success story right there.
Oh, yeah, because we found out that
he was looking like Obama. He was looking like Obama on stage with Diddy, wasn't he?
Man, come on, man.
He had the suit on with the short shit. I'm like, the boy looking like a light-skinned Obama out there.
Man,
you know what I mean? The man did 10 years, all that shit with J-Lo and all that shit that happened, man. He never told on nobody. That man came home. They deported him, sent him to Belize. For those who don't know, that's where he was from. They deported him. And now he runs the place. You know what I mean? Now he a government official. You know what I mean? Now, if you want to talk about a real story, that's really, a success story when it comes to something. You know what I mean? And turning the game all the way around, man. So definitely big shout out to Shine Poe. Well, he said he lived the Poe out. He said leave the Poe out no more. It ain't Poe. So shout out to Shine. Yeah.
Just Shine.
That's how you come back, man. And now he's running his country. Oh, you want to send me back? You want to deport me? Send me back? All right, watch this. Now you're going to have to be a political partnership with me.
See? You know what I mean? But he made it out. I'm going to say due to his already being connected anyway.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying?
You went and sat. You went and sat that 10 ball. You put your whole career on the line and sat down, man.
Hey, and then made a joint out of prison. That wasn't bad.
Yo, shout out to the God Loon.
Oh,
another home.
Another one.
Another one sat down, and put his career on the line because Loon was about to go crazy because Mace had went reverend. So Loon had hopped right in that lane. Like Loon got the joint with Tony Braxton. You know what I mean? I'm like, you know what I mean? Loon wasn't.
Oh, come on, man. Loon is something serious.
Yeah, he wrote that I Need a Girl with Diddy, and Usher and all that. I mean, like Loon was about ready to take off when all this was going on, But look, there's another good case of no pun intended with the word case, but there's another good case, man. MC, yes, you're getting legally paid to be an artist. At the very same time, you got 100 bricks over at the other joint. At some point, I mean, you hear a lot of rappers actually say it, but it don't seem like none of these cats listen. It's like once you hop into that shit, you can't do both, man.
Right.
Nobody succeeds doing both.
Hey, but you know what? You know what they say. I tell you can't do something, you're gonna try to figure out, I can do it. You might not can't do it, but it don't even make no sense.
It don't.
You know what I mean? Because you're putting yourself in danger when you don't have to be, and to even have yourself affiliated with that after you done got up out is ludicrous.
For real, it's like, ain't that why we do this?
Right.
You know what I mean? We ain't out here doing the Auggie and the Auggivelli so we can go back and go get them bricks, son.
No, definitely not.
We try to get the properties and the real estates and the, you know what I mean? We try to, come on, man.
Hey,
y'all dudes going backwards. You want to impress?
Yeah,
you want to impress the neighborhood. Come on, man. We got to get past that, man. We got to get past wanting to put our neighbors to shame. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As soon as you go buy a new whip. Okay, let's not even say on the car. Go out there and cut your grass tomorrow, and your neighbor's shit ain't cut. Give it a couple days. They're gonna be out there cutting that shit.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's just on a minute level. But I'm just saying, it's like there's just that thing of, oh man, you see my neighbor just went and cop that new joint over here. You know what I mean? Oh, he got some rims on that shit now. Oh, he got. You get what I'm saying? These niggas do this shit just to literally, excuse my language, but they do this shit out here just to drive by your ass, just to drive by your lame ass, make you feel worse, like you ain't got shit going on, but you just worked 15 hours, you know what I mean, to get that check to pay your bills. But this person can ride past and make you feel like you're doing nothing in life. Just because he's fucking sitting in the house, fucking, you know what I mean?
playing
Dealing
video.
with dealing with the junkies of our town. You know what I'm saying? And no disrespect to any of them, because you know what? I've been in the game. Only reason I feel like I can say it is because, you know, years ago, we was around that type shit. So I feel like I can say it, but you know, don't be ashamed because this dude over here is over there doing that, man, and you putting your work in. Keep putting your work in, man. Keep putting because you know what? He ain't sleeping good at night. He always looking out the window.
1 eye over his shoulder.
You can't, nothing's guaranteed. They be being taken out by his own friends.
Hey, and there's only 2 ways out that game. We all know it. We ain't gonna say the police say.
We told y'all the streets was a myth. Y'all know what that is. And if you didn't catch that, if y'all first time viewer, make sure you'll go check out this whole Streets Myths series we've been doing. It's been under special broadcast, but from now on, it's going to be under Auggie and Thee Auggivelli. You know what I mean? When you tap into the playlist. So, but you know, we've been really been on this heavy because the pressure is really on, and all our kids, they want to be these dudes. So it's like we kind of got to break it down for them to see what they really getting into, because it's like, look, you thinking you about to just be in the studio smoking all the blunts, you know what I'm saying, with some Instagram chicks around, you know what I mean, with fucking money phones, man, and it just ain't how it's happening for dudes out here. 90% of them broke anyway, you know, and the rest of them that do actually get some bread got to disappear before they get killed.
Facts. Hey, but pardon me.
Yeah.
That just made me think of, and y'all can look it up, where it was a meeting, and I think your boy Busy Bone said, not Busy, but Crazy Bone. I think he spoke on it.
And we all saw his shit, about them people that were, that shit he said on his podcast. Right.
Where they had the meeting, where you know we go
about connected with the prisons,
and this is what's happening.
The same people that own the record labels own prisons,
and this is what's happening right now. Though the experiment worked.
Yes, it did. Yeah,
and now
it made us all want to be gangsters and send us all to jail so they can all make all this money for jail housing,
as well as the same music that's sending cats to jail because cats is selling feelings. They selling the vibration. These cats is the batteries for that vibration, and they gonna get recycled by either getting popped or going to jail.
Man, you know, this really is, it's really on some old kill the messenger type shit, man.
Yeah.
Because it's like, look, first of all, well, besides marijuana, all these drugs that you catching us with, we don't own or manufacture. This shit's given to us. We take the penalties.
How we get them?
We take the penalties for the shit these motherfuckers manufacture. Excuse my language, you two. I know that MF, we're gonna drop that. I'll have to bleep it, but you know what I mean? This is all they're doing, man. It just touches our hands because they know they can't do nothing with it. The world don't trust you enough to do nothing. You know, the world don't trust you enough to do business with you.
Yeah.
So we do all the business. We do all the business, and then we lose our families over.
Well, you know, they figured out another way to, you know, shackle, you know what I'm saying, their workforce.
How many cats you hear, man? Yeah, Pops was doing 20. Pop's still in there. Or a dude talking about, I went in and did 4 years. My dad was in there. I did a little time with my dad. You know what I mean? This is the type of stories that's going on with in our families, man.
And then, you know, where's this rehabilitation at? Where are you learning the straight? Are you learning the skill? Are you being able to get one leg up because you lost so much time? And you know what I mean?
Same exact jobs is still out there that when you went in, nothing advanced at all.
Right.
You know? I mean, I don't know. It just depends. It's just hard to explain to where it would go, man, you know, but I wanted to ask something too, man, about, since we was talking about, you know, rappers being in jail and doing prison time and things, you know, we know like how Lil Wayne did some time, T.I., Ja Rule, Gucci Mane did a bunch of time and things like that. I'm wondering how does the whole, residuals and contracts, how's that all roll? I wonder why. Do they free? I wonder, does it depend on the case where maybe your account might be frozen, or are you still able to, because Ti with who? Because we've seen dudes make tapes out of jail, but it was like kind of like, what type of permissions is what type, you know what I mean? How do you think all this is taking place?
Well, what they say is they usually do it over the phone, and then they clean it up. They clean the vocals up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I guess they kick they joint in a cadence, and they just match the cadence with a beat. You know what I'm saying? Which would be simple enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which would be simple enough. You're gonna lose some quality. You know what I mean, on your vocals. That's like Slick Rick was the first person to do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That out of jail and stuff, and it didn't translate. Then Shine did it. His came out kind of like the same, but a little bit better.
Yeah. Yeah.
With technology at we talking
I remember
about
the homeboy X-Rated from the West Coast.
Yeah.
He did one from jail too.
But
I'm just wondering. I'm just wondering, like, what type of rights you still have. You know what I mean? Like to anything, like, you know what I mean? Can you still be a corporation but be in? You know what I mean? It's like, how does all that work? I wonder. You probably got to sign, like, somebody's got to be like a power of attorney, probably, or some shit.
Yeah, huh? I would think so. Or you might have to turn over your proceeds to the corporation instead of getting paid as the entity, as the the entity.
Right. Then they just pretty much hold the most of it till you get out, and then just give you your commissary. Just keep your commissary fat while you're in there. That's probably
right.
I'm sure Martha Stewart was in there. I'm sure she wasn't missing no meals.
No, you know what I mean? No, she was creating meals. They was running commissary to her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was like, we finna eat good.
Man, and like we already said about Young Boy being free, you know what I mean, and just certain current trials and things like that, man. But how we was talking about earlier about the Supreme Team thing, man, and this YSL thing, man, it's kind of like something that hit me when I heard Supreme say, before the jury would believe him, they had to demonize me. You know what I mean? They had to make me a dangerous person. I came in there as a businessman. All my paperwork said I was a businessman now. You know what I mean? But they had to find some way to demonize me, you know what I mean, to make the jury feel like I was dangerous in some level.
He was this nefarious gangster.
Yeah, and it's like you kind of see that's what they're doing with Doug. It's like they having all these testimonies of, oh, I feel like I fear for my life, and he sent out this group text saying if any of us ever go to jail and you tell you're gonna die. And just, all this propaganda and weird things that they put out, that we don't none of it know if any of it's true, but it's like no one's under oath saying any of it. So it's like, can you really believe any of it? I mean, like that as a judge, I'm saying, none of us went to law school, but you as a judge, if someone's just telling you like, hey, we're seeing tweets and we heard there's a group chat saying he'd kill anybody if they ever went to jail and told on him, you know what I mean? But no one's under oath, and you're not saying, hey, I got a witness coming in and say, hey, yeah, he sent this to my phone. Right. What are you really holding the man's bond for? I don't get it. I don't understand what they feel like they're holding the man's bond for, and you're not going federal yet.
Because he can pay it.
They're waiting on the feds to take it over, but the feds would have been took this over.
If he had 60 bodies.
Yeah, they've been there. It's been over 60 some days. Something like Gunna's been in there in like 63 days, man. I mean, like they've been in jail for a little second already now,
Excuse me.
So it's like you ain't gonna give them no bond. You're not gonna bound it over to the feds. But at the same time, all you got is really just a lot of speculation with no real. I mean, I haven't heard anything about, everybody, of course, saying like, yeah, somebody telling. But at the same time, you ain't seen nothing where it came out and said, okay, there's this many members are, turned state's evidence.
Hey, and not only that, they peppering public opinion. Mm-hmm. hence the
Yep.
demonization. But
Yeah.
with that, how you gonna get a fair trial in that state?
Yeah.
And all this hearsay of, I mean, you gotta put that in the public record. You gotta put that in the record.
Yeah. You think
So
they just got tired? You think they just got tired of them boys?
yeah, man. The state said we gonna, hey, you've been making money in our state, causing ruckus as they feel. You know what I mean? Because that's one of them good old boy states.
Facts.
And now, and what you think they like? Young black men running around in bulletproofs
Right.
and and all kind of lavish gigs, Ferraris and Jaguars and great property and
Right.
flying around, just
Traveling the
gaudy with
world.
the man with the jewelry and the dreadlocks and the gang signs and the camaraderie and you
Right.
know
Right.
they like, okay, we gonna take your money.
Yeah.
And then if we let you out of this, I suggest that you might, take up residence somewhere else. Everybody else is doing it,
Hmm.
because we know you around here, Jeffrey.
Right. Right. And we remember one of the very first times. Well, this wasn't his own neighborhood, but one of the first times we had heard about a rapper being petitioned to move in somewhere. Remember Jay-Z? They had
Right.
petitioned. They didn't want Jay-Z to buy a house in a certain neighborhood. The whole neighborhood wrote to the city. You know what I mean? To not sell them the
Yeah.
house. So we see how it all goes and how they take place. But I've seen a lot of similarities in the Supreme Team's whole situation along with the YSLs, man, because they tried to get into the music industry. It was I'm not saying YSL is a real street gang. I don't know. But what I'm saying is allegedly what they're saying that it is. So if that being the case, we all know for a fact that the Supreme Team was a street gang. They came in affiliation with Murder Inc. You know what I mean?
Right.
Apparently it was fully legit because Irv Gotti and his brother got let go because no illegal funds was, put into the situation. What it was about was Preem wanted to, when he got out, he wanted to make all the Donald Goines books in the movies.
Right.
So he made that Crime Partners.
Okay. With DMX.
He made the Crime Partners, and Irv Gotti gave him money, Jay-Z gave him money, and I think they said Diddy. I want to say Diddy if it wasn't you, bro, but I know it was three guys like that. But I know for a fact Jay-Z and Irv Gotti both wrote a check as investors, right?
Right.
Well, of course, they tried to come back and say it was like he he just pretty much paid for it all, and they just put their name, tried to laundromat some shit, but it didn't come back nothing. They had to let everybody go, but they had Supreme on 2 murders, so they couldn't let him go. So that was really, he really would have went home if he wouldn't have been, you know what I mean, for the murder side of it, because that last time they went to take him down, he was actually completely legit.
That's wild.
So I don't know, but could they have caught Young Thug finally now at a point where he was actually legit? Like, you know what I mean? Was it like, all right, maybe all the way through his career coming up when he was trying to get them millions and meeting the Birdman and, moving around through the city and everything, maybe he was moving with a gang of bloods and a gang of dudes, as protection, and, everybody goes surround the bag, you know what I mean? So it's like with Nipsey and certain dudes, they come to you and like, all right, look, yeah, you got a
Can't
chance
nothing happen to you.
You got a chance to make a difference around here. So no, you with us even if you don't want to, You
Yeah,
get what I'm saying?
Yeah, we got you.
I heard like 4 other rappers that's like, not in YSL, but in that circle of Atlanta dudes that was around him. And they was like, he was the one he made the first million out of all of us. He was like, we were all in the studio together, 2 Chainz, I mean, all of them. You know what I mean? And they're like, he made the first meal, you know what I mean? And we all was behind him. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you go back to your neighborhood, made the first $1 million. Who do you expect to be? Like I said before, there's a lot of stuff in this that I feel like is going to get thrown out, like situation we talked about the rental car that they did a shootout in. It's in your artist. You signed it over. You rented it for an artist. I mean, you can't really say that that's in the, if you connect that to somebody, you're really trying to take somebody out if you go that far.
I
You know, if the
mean,
jury believes that, I don't know.
hey, once again, the demon is, as you said, the demonization of this cat, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
is at an all-time high. You know,
Yeah.
and think about it like this. It's not just him, it's the whole vibration of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
The whole energy around is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying, just because most of the young kids just out of fashion. They got the little rags in their pockets, and you never know if they, really affiliated or not.
Right.
Because everybody look the same.
Exactly.
And then again, let cats tell it. Cats is all, what's the new word? Gang gang.
Mm-hmm.
So, if everybody yelling gang gang, and you really ain't gang gang, you schoolboy, you know what I'm saying? You
Uh-huh.
really schoolboy or, postman or, you know what I mean? Just an artist.
Right.
And,
Yeah, man.
you around gang gang activities.
Right.
You throw it up gang gang signs in your artistry.
Mm-hmm.
You represented promoting something.
Right.
And,
Right.
hey,
We
they kind
said
of
that.
frowning
We
on
said
that.
that the streets of the myth. We told the streets in
Hey,
the streets of the myth, the same exact thing. It's like,
yeah,
look, you go cook. If you want to cook, go cook, man.
man.
You want to
Hey,
go. You want to go. You know what I mean? You want to go. Culinary arts. I'm saying, not just cook, but you know what I mean. You want to go get a
yeah,
job. Go do that, man. Quit letting these
yeah.
fools out here make you feel like you got to be them, man. You know
Hey,
what I mean? Because you only get, trust me, they don't tell you, but they only get that for about 6 months to like maybe 2 years. And then they're coming for you. All right. These dudes have to hit the reset button so much. All right.
right.
And I'm saying that from personal experience from when I was younger. You know what I mean? And even myself and being around real dudes. These dudes hit the reset button every 5 years at least, because in the midst of that, there's going to be ups and downs, and there might be a chance where you do some time and have to come home and start completely from scratch. You know what I mean? They leave all that out of it. All right. All you get to see is that 6 months of that car with the paint and the rims that are so huge,
Yeah,
and the shaking of your windows. Then you
yeah.
don't see them for a minute. Then you don't see them. You know what
I
I
mean,
mean?
they on vacation.
Man,
They went off
man,
to
we're trying
school,
to
man.
tell you, man.
They went off to school. Ain't that what they used to, the older folks would say? He went off to school.
For
He on
real.
he
For
on
real.
vacation.
For real, man. And you know what? One of our last points, man, before we get out of here, man, I got just a couple more things, man. And one of them is, how do you feel like as far as these entertainers, man, it's like success at a price, man.
Oh,
You know,
definitely.
the
And
ultimate price, man. It's crazy.
the craziest part about it is, it's almost like, and I want to say, sorry, but this is my man's, but Killer Cam and the Dipset.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say, kind of, kind of, kind of started this trend. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Uh, they all, the Migos, how, the group, what I
Yeah.
mean? It's just
Yeah. I
like
know. I follow you.
that look,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
And they represent something because they all look, and
Yep.
a lot of affiliation going on.
Absolutely.
Then
Absolutely.
then you seen with 100 guys,
Yeah.
and them cats in the back, they don't know what's going on. They get the chance to just be there. So they definitely, if they are affiliated, they throwing up their giveaways.
Yeah, they're gonna do anything just to be
Man,
just to stay around.
and to make it look rowdy.
Yeah, we
That's
see
what
that
you
on
want.
lower levels. You know what I mean? We see that on lower levels, dudes that just be around just to do that'll do whatever, slap a dude, beat up a junkie, just so he could be up in the house with y'all all day and smoke and drink. Yeah, he'll slap a few junkies around or just whatever. As long as he can just
Yeah,
come back over here and chill and smoke, and you know what I mean? He ain't even
yeah, hang out.
ain't even a hustler at all. He just like to be around that environment. So he just, hey, yeah,
Just chilling.
I go down there. But I mean,
Right.
but you're right about that, man, with that era of it. I mean, and even, not to put them out there either, but we all know the story anyway. But I mean, BMF,
Yeah.
Free Big Meat, Southwest T already home. You know what I mean? But even with that situation, man, come on. I mean, they claim that they were, that they were just promoters, like we said in the beginning of the pod. They started off as show promoters.
Right.
These entities, these street dudes, man. And even with Big Meats, they claim that they, promoting shows. That's how Jeezy became around, Jeezy had another thing to say. He felt like he was a little more affiliated, you know. Big Meats claimed that he wasn't as affiliated as he thought of, but who knows what's what. But we do know for a fact that they tried to turn it into a record label.
Right. Right.
We do. Blue Da Vinci, even if they say Jeezy wasn't an artist, wasn't a part of BMF, we definitely know Blue Da Vinci was a part of BMF, and we definitely know Blue Da Vinci was a rapper.
Yes. Facts.
One of my favorite songs, Work by Blue Da Vinci, man. Shout out to you, Blue, for real. But I mean, just saying, just making my point of the hustler and hip hop, man. It's a marriage. It's a marriage, man. And now they're making us pay for it. Now brothers is paying heavy consequences from this. You know what I mean? The price of success. You know what I mean? Success with a price, man.
But then think, cats ain't moving right though.
No.
If cats see, it's one thing to come up out of it, but it's another thing to come up out of it and then promote it like you you still in it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I know the stories is your bread and butter, but that's what's bringing all your influencers, your influencees, the people you are influencing.
Right. Right.
That's why you gotta get it. They like your words mean something.
Right. Right. Hey, but you know what? On that same point, right? I feel what you're saying. That makes me think like everything that 50 Cent had a lot of violent rhymes and a lot of violent stories, a lot of things to talk about. You know what I mean? But I can't. But you know what? I can't necessarily say that 50 Cent ever made me feel like he was still doing it.
No.
You get what I'm saying? Now I feel like they want you to feel like you know what I mean? That they're still doing this.
That's my point.
You know what I mean? I never felt like 50 Cent was still, maybe he do still got a gun on him, or just might be whatever like that, or maybe he don't still play around, but you know what I mean, or whatever like that.
He's far removed from sending anybody to do anything other than go get that check. Anything.
Even Jay-Z.
Right.
Jay-Z was one of the first young Jeezys to me, as far as talking about hustling, and making some real money. You know what I mean? But I never, at no point that I've, from reasonable doubt on, at no point that I feel like he was talking like he was still doing that shit though.
No.
You know what I mean? It all felt like past tense. These dudes want to tell you something that happened yesterday, man.
And literally, it might have happened yesterday.
Yeah, that's how the police catch them, because the crime actually happened that day. You know what I mean? It's like dudes got the same gun on Instagram, or they catch you in the video with the same exact gun. I don't understand why it's like, this reality rap where they taking it now. It's like, and the thing is, instead of, these corporations stepping in to stop it like they claim, they flood it with cash. They fund it. But I mean, if you think about it on a wide scale, what war don't our government fund, man? They over here funding Ukraine right now. Yeah. Don't think they over here funding the war between the inner city, between black and brown?
Oh, come on, man. Hey, and then make it so bad, they really they cause a divide, but now they really trying to push us together. You know what I'm saying? Because once again, we was talking about the one little shooting at the school. Them was Them was our, our
Yeah,
Latino brothers,
yeah,
sisters. You know what I'm saying?
exactly.
Hey, but that little boy got the same thing that a black boy would get.
Yeah,
Duffed.
yeah,
He
yeah,
got the so
yeah,
but then the one dude he run through the supermarket and he get taken out with,
yeah,
with kid gloves.
yeah.
The
Red
one
for
kid,
Buffalo for
the one
sure.
kid, the one kid, his mama takes him out to a gig. He end up killing some people, and he cried on the stage, and yeah, he
Yeah,
got
man.
he out.
Right,
He ain't gonna do no time.
right. And we talked about that a second ago about how the actual drugs that we go to the penitentiary for don't necessarily come from this country at all, are all imported commodities. You know
Right,
what I
right,
mean? Even if you think about the guns and all this and everything that we using and all that,
right.
we're not making the guns either. Everything that you taking us down, everything that's destroying us, we don't even manufacture. We don't even control, period. So that already showed, but at the same time, they still make us look like we are the only criminals on the planet. But you walk inside the prison, you walk into the county jail, wherever, everybody's ass in there.
Everybody.
You know what I mean? But publicly,
Yeah,
we're the criminals of the planet Earth.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
And that's why we here. That's why we've been doing these episodes, and that's why we've been doing these shows, man. Because not for the knuckleheads, but some of the ones that's ready to transition over, and just some of the young gods, man, that just want some of that wisdom, man, and just learn how to move out here right now, and just to be able to check the temperature of what's going on out here right now. You know what I mean?
Facts.
And that's
Yes,
exactly
sir.
why me and the Augie been putting this down, and we've been dropping these episodes. You know what I mean? And actually, we're about to go even further with it and start tapping in on a lot more subjects with it, man. Like we said with the Auggie and the Auggivelli, man. You know what I mean? So y'all make sure y'all tap in with that. Make sure you follow Auggie and the Gigoid on Instagram, family. All right. Hit my man up. He got the clips. We got the Auggie and the Gigoid on TikTok. And announcement for those who ain't already tapped in, iGod TV on TikTok. We posting clips. If it starts to jumping over there, we might do a few quick lives and have a few maybe discussions with some people, however that might go. But make sure you tap in on Augie, Big Augie on TikTok, and
TikTok.
tap in with iGod TV on TikTok, man. You know what I mean? Come slide over there, man, and it's gonna give you a lot of previews of everything that we got coming out and episodes that's about to drop. You'll be able to get a nice sneak peek of the vibe and see what you want to tap into. So make sure you subscribe and following us over there. Make sure you subscribing on YouTube. You know what I mean? And keep checking out them lives on Facebook. You know what I mean? Because we
That's
definitely
right.
gonna keep pumping them and turning them up. You know what I mean? Anything you want to say, Augie, before we get up out of here?
Hey man, shit, you summed it all the way up, man. Shit, everybody's, what I'm saying? Stay Augie out there. I want to salute, all the iGod TV constituents. You know what I'm saying? Once again, Augie and the Gigoid, Big Augie on TikTok. Slowly but surely we adding content for y'all to check out, little tips and clips, you know what I'm saying? And little snippets and shit. You know what I
Word,
mean?
word.
And definitely on our Instagram, the Aquarium Mind. I recommend it. Great,
Thank you, man.
great,
Thank you. I
yeah,
ain't give
no
them that
doubt,
one, but
man.
yeah,
Great content. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? Of course, I got TV on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? We slowly building. Now, once again, the streets is always a myth. Don't never believe that shit. Don't
fact,
believe that hype like PE said, because we the new public enemies. In their eyes, we behind the crosshairs. You know what I'm saying? That's you behind the crosshairs from the PE symbol now. They're like they said it then, but it's real now.
that's
And they
right.
want to either send you to jail or, to the essence.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly,
you know what I'm saying?
exactly.
They don't want you to grow and get old. They don't
Right,
want you to, and people say, I don't want to. Yeah, you do.
right,
Trust me. The older you get, the more you enjoy getting old.
right,
You
right,
know what I'm saying? Because it's an experience. And
right.
then you can teach the young Aggies. You know what I mean? Each one teach one. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
That's right, man. And this ain't the mothership, man. You know what I mean? But just two brothers coming from coming down on their own ship to land on the planet, man, to give y'all what y'all need, man, and take back
No
with us
doubt.
who ready to roll, man. You know what I
doubt.
mean? And I want to thank everybody for tapping in, man. And we're going to keep coming with the content. We're going to keep pumping it. About to drop the pyramid theory. It's already ready and done and ready to, ready to happen. So that's about to drop ASAP. You know what I mean? So I want to thank everybody once again. Stay tapping in to iGod TV. We're here with the big Auggie, Born Bill Universal, transmitter supreme sounds on Earth and the universe. And this is iGod TV, live from planet Earth. Peace.
Peace.